Yeah, when you look at it selfishly, you'd love Jeff to come back every year and play in this organization and play for this team. He's been a rock, a pillar for us in such a important position, as everybody knows who follows the game of hockey. It's especially in the ECHL, when you have consistency and someone really stable in net for you, where a lot of teams go through a ton of goalies and there's a ton of movement. When we've been able to have Jeff Jakaitis here over the last few years, it has meant a lot to our team on the ice, and then obviously what he brings to this community. But we're happy for him. That's the one thing with going through this process and removing yourself from myself, removing it from the selfishness that you want him and you want Jeff to be your goalie next year, but at the same time, he's a human being that you care a lot about and you've seen grow so much over the last few years, and you want to see him succeed not only on the ice but in life. So you take a step back and you want the father, the Jeff Jakaitis that's planning for the future and that to make sure that he's put in a good spot. So that's why we tried to help him, or I tried to help him the best we could with finding a deal for him over in Europe and encouraging him to get that deal and go look after himself for the future financially.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. It seemed like with the relationship that this team, this organization, and the community has had with a gentleman like Jeff Jakaitis, it's hard to see him as just Jeff the goalie. It's Jeff the friend. It's Jeff the guy next door, the one that helped out at youth hockey camps. It's Jeff that's very close to everyone.
Yeah, and that's the sad part of it is, you're losing that person that everybody's come to love and that we love having in the locker room and we love seeing go out there and get between the pipes. But at the same time, again, people that you care about and that you want to see them have success, in their occupation, in their life, as a father, as a husband, as a fiance, a boyfriend, and that's sort of what you have to really focus on, or I had to focus on here, is making sure that Jeff, maybe his tenure as a Stingray is over in the organization and that, but at the same time, he's putting himself in a good position financially, and to be able to play at his age still at the high level that he's playing at and going over there, it's a great opportunity for him, and it makes sense for him big picture wise.
Now, putting back on the coach's hat, what kind of challenge does that present for you? Because Jeff was that, stability in net and core defense, and then, of course, he's a part of the leadership group in that locker room, just a guy that knows about the Stingrays culture and what's expected here in the Low Country. What does that present to you in terms of trying to maybe find another goalie, or maybe try and find other key cogs to that team, not only from last year, but just have been around and know of this organization for the last few years?
Yeah, and that's okay, so we talked about he's been a pillar. He's done all the accolades, all the things that he's accomplished on the ice. He's a tremendous goalie, the MVP of the league, goaltender of the year. We know what he's capable of. And at the same time, you have to think, like, we've had a lot of success with goalies here over the last 5 years. Zapolsky, Todd Ford, Holtz, Gruby, McChesney. A lot of different goalies have come here and done really, really well. Morrison last year. So there's a lot of guys. So not to that doesn't take anything away from what Jeff's done. It just means that we're able now, when you're trying to fill that position, is there's a lot of really talented goalies. There's only so many nets to fill in pro hockey. So it's not from a GM taking strictly away the Jeff Jakaitis and all that and the feelings that we get with him leaving. When you put the GM hat on and you think about it, like, we'll be able to find some quality goalies out there, and that's what my job is now, is to sift through all those names and see who will be a good fit with our organization next year. We've got Jacobson coming in. We'll get a goaltender from Washington and Hershey, and we'll be out there actively looking at some free agents.